Well, hey there everyone, it's Anthony, back with another video here on Single and Placing. Hi, hope you're having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. Hi, hello. Wow, that's a lot of pee. We're out here at the Arvada Open Space Reservoir. I need to make sure that I keep an eye on the time. Okay, we've got 40 minutes. What a crazy day so far. So hi, yeah, I'm out here taking Apollo for a walk. I had my in-office day at work today, and I had an intake call or an initial call with a hiring manager for a new recruitment, but his schedule was super duper booked all day except for first thing in the morning for him, and he starts 2 hours earlier. We all have different start and end times. He starts really early in the morning so he can get off early afternoon, but his entire day was booked except for the early morning. So I was like, well, guess I'm going into work a couple hours early so I can get this meeting done, because it kind of needs to happen. So I went into work super early, plus we have the time change, so I get to work at 6 a.m., which is really 5 a.m. I mean, it's 6 a.m., but with the time change that happened yesterday, today's Monday, oh, that really threw me off. And then getting up, early enough to do all that, plus get Apollo for his morning potty walk and fed and, get my life together. It felt like got up at 4 a.m, which wasn't helpful because I had a very sleepless night. I was just couldn't get myself to bed until pretty late. So I really only got like maybe 3 hours of sleep, maybe. So I'm struggling. So that happened, struggling. That was my only meeting of the day, which was good. So I'm at work. I'm like, okay, just got to make it through today. I'll do some trainings and get some other stuff done, application review, all the things. And I get a message from my landlord and his realtor saying, hey, we have a showing at the house today at noon. And by this time it was like 9 o'clock. So, 3 hours. We have a showing and we need Apollo out of the house for the showing. And I'm like, okay, well, no. I am at the office today. My office days are Mondays and Thursdays. I'm at the office today and I can't, I'd have to leave work, come home, take him out of the house for however long your showing is, bring him back, drop him off, and come back to the office, So I'll ask my supervisor, but I don't think this is going to work. You need to give me a day's notice. You need to give me a day's notice. I feel like that's fair. And they're like, well, we did let Joe know, and we have a group chat that all the tenants are in. I'm like, I'm not on whatever group chat you're talking about. This is the first I'm hearing of this. Oh, our apologies. We didn't add your number to the list, but we did let Joe know, who's my, roommate and friend, but Joe didn't say anything. And I was like, so whatever. So I wrote my boss, and, my work's very flexible, but I wanted to hold their feet to the fire a little bit on this, because this isn't the first time they've done this. So my boss was like, yeah, that's fine. And I was like, okay, I'll leave here around 10:30, 11, go get Apollo, and then I'll be back online after the showing. And I was like, I might also, since I have to do this, I might also try to get Apollo scheduled for a vet appointment, which we'll get to here in a second. Just a general wellness checkup. It's been probably about seven months since he's had one. See if he needs any vaccines or anything like that. So I'll try to kill two birds with one stone. She's like, yep, that's fine. We'll see you when you get back. I'm like, okay, cool. So I stayed there for, another hour or so and then headed home, snagged Apollo, and now here we are. I was able to call the vet and get a same day appointment at 12:45, which is in an hour. So that'll give us 20 minutes to get from here to the vet. I like to get there a little bit early, They sent me an email confirmation stating that they want Apollo. Oh, here we go. Hold on, potty break. So the vet sent me an email notification to confirm my appointment. And on there it said, please bring in a stool sample from Apollo within 4 hours of your appointment is when, he needs to have pooped. And they did not mention that when I booked the appointment that they were going to do that. So I don't know if that's just a template email that they sent or they really do need it. So I'm going to take this potty bag and put it in the trunk real quick. But I was like, they did not mention that. But I will do it, and if they don't need it, then I'll throw it away at the vet. But I was like, interesting, okay. Guess I can do that. So we have that here in a minute. But after I got everything figured out, I wrote back my landlord and the realtor, and I was like, hey guys, I was able to get the afternoon off to accommodate your showing. But again, this is frustrating to have to scramble to make this happen. And you guys have my number, and you've had my number for a long time, So I just said that I would greatly appreciate having direct communication about this, and as much notice as possible. I don't mind taking Apollo or assisting in a showing or getting whatever needs to be done. I'll do what I can do, or do what, help out where I can. But again, communication needs to be improved. And I also said that I understand that Joe has been kind enough to be your liaison in this, but I need direct communication. Because what if they're out of town or he doesn't see the message, or like in this case, he thought I was part of this group chat that they created, even though I wasn't. So I was just very direct and a little stern. I didn't go crazy, but I was just like, this is what I need from you. And they both said thank you for accommodating and blah, blah, blah. And they'll send me a message, they'll communicate directly next time. And I was like, thank you. So yeah, when I'm working from home, I don't care. I can pack up and take Apollo out for a walk or, do whatever. But if I'm in office, that means I have to leave work. Certain days I'm responsible for helping with our new hire orientation. So I'm doing I-9 documentation verification. I'm helping escort new hires, doing all the things. So a lot of times it's not easy for me to just be like, oh, I gotta go. I've got a class of new hires that need me to be there all day. So anyway, so that was frustrating. So that's why I'm here in the middle of the day walking Apollo. is because we had a little bit of time to kill before his appointment and I needed to get his poop. So we have that now. Okay, we've got 29 minutes. So yeah, but I might tag this onto a whip-in chat or tonight's dog walk. We'll see, because this will end up being a short video. But in my insomnia evening, and this wasn't the full evening, but I went and had dinner with Alex and MJ. I had a coupon for one of the Indian restaurants in town. So we went there and had dinner and talked about their vacation and all that stuff. They did like an Asia tour. Been gone for about 3 weeks. So they just got back from that. So we went and had dinner and just chit-chatted. And I took Apollo for a long walk yesterday. And then I got home and worked on the interview questions for the podcast. I copied and pasted the ones I used to use. I've done artist spotlights and shop spotlights in the past on my channel. So I just recycled those questions. And then today at some point, me and Mia are going to have a call, probably this evening for me, to go over them, add any personalized ones for our upcoming guests that we have on the books, and get those finalized so we can send them out to the guests. So that'll be done today. It's mostly done. I just wanted to get her input, and obviously I don't want to just be like, these are the questions I've created. Of course, she's going to have her own. So, and we also have to think about how many questions we should send, because we only have a half-hour time slot for guest interviews. So yeah, that's that. And so I did that. And then the next thing that I did is I had a subscriber, a chat with them last week. And one of the things that they had mentioned is I don't know, questioning or just asking me about, or just telling me their question or concern about Apollo and his food that I give him. Essentially, like, you know, Anthony, you go on and on about giving him this and adding that to his diet and mixing this in. Do you ever think about if like all those things work together, or if they contradict each other, or if, you know, this mixed with this equals something bad? And, you know, all the stuff that I give him is just like whole foods and stuff. I mean, there are some supplements in there, like he used to get CoQ10, and he gets L-glutamine for like joint support. But, you know, everything else is like green-lipped mussels and turmeric and blueberries. So it's like, well, unless blueberries can't be mixed with turmeric, then it's not gonna, you know, I've never had any issues, and I've never seen anything looking them up. But I've never really sat down and done like a whole holistic, like, here's everything that I give Apollo, and does this stuff work like synergistically with everything else, and is there anything missing? Like, I've never done a whole thing. I usually discover something new or find something new and just incorporate it, but not really thinking about, I guess, bigger picture. So, you know, I did appreciate that, but you know, it if anything, it made me kind of sit down and break it all down and put it together. So I pulled up my laptop and pulled out my handy dandy friend ChatGPT and spent a good long time last night just putting it all together. And so I told it, you know, I gave all the parameters. You know, I have a dog, he's a Husky Malamute mix, 4 years old, 75 to 80 pounds. And here's the base food that I give him. And here's all the things that I incorporate. And I learned a lot. And I made sure that it was checking against, what is it? NAFCO or something. There's like the board that, like the US board that dictates like pet food ingredients. But I also had it cross-reference the AKC website. It also cross-referenced several sites that do nutrition, like nutritionalists for dogs. It also cross-referenced performance dog trainers, and it also took a look at his breed mix specifically, so like sled dogs and any specific nutritional needs or things that could be recommended. So I wrote this like pretty much entire page of information, and I was like, okay, I want you to analyze all this and give me your breakdown of what is good, what's not good, what doesn't work well with each other, are there any gaps, or is there anything that is redundant, all the things. And I went back and forth with the ChatGPT. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. I spent several hours last night just refining it and learning, because I was also like, I want you to give me a comprehensive breakdown of every ingredient, every additive, what the use case is for, what the recommended dose based off of all those different sources would be, all the things. And so I ended up at the very end with my Apollo feeding system chart. And it was very eye-opening to learn. I learned so much. I feel like that's another reason why I'm tired, is I feel like I did a crash course in like performance dog nutrition. And I also asked, I was like, we walk anywhere from 2 to 5 miles a day together. 2 to 5 miles a day, but several of those days are done off leash, so he's free running during that 4 miles, so he's obviously getting a lot more. And they were like, that's actually a lot more exercise than most dogs get, so we would put him in the heavy exercise category. And I'm like, oh, well, that's good to know. He's getting what he needs. So anyway, I learned so much. I learned a lot, and I think that's another reason why I'm tired. I'm just like, oh my gosh, that was a huge info dump. And it kept doing this thing where it was like, it would break everything down, and it's like, if you'd like, I can also show you 3 superfoods that would be excellent to incorporate in Apollo's diet. And then I'd say yes. And then it'd give me a breakdown of those. And then it'd be like, if you want, I can also show you this. So eventually I was like, stop asking me if you should create another iteration of this. I want a full, comprehensive breakdown of everything, all the gaps, anything missing, and stop asking me if I'd like to see more. Just give me it all. It was like, okay, thinking. So I ended up getting that full list, reading through everything, and then refining some stuff down. And I learned that some of the stuff that I do give him is, there's nothing that contradicts or could be an issue. There was just some things that are redundant, and not in a way that he's getting too much of something and it's bad. It's just like, his body is probably not using this because you're already getting it from here, and here. So it was more of a money savings thing and simplifying his diet. So I ended up getting rid of the CoQ10. I was also giving him chlorella, which is like an algae. but he already gets plenty of similar things from everything else in his diet. So it's just like a lot of things were just overlapping and not really necessary. But then there was a bunch of stuff that it recommended. Oh, and also I had been told that nutritional yeast was good for dogs and just good for humans. It turns out that that is really high in whatever it is that creates uric acid. So remember I was telling you guys, I'm like, oh gosh, like my foot was having issues. Feels like gout or something, which is a buildup of uric acid. And I'm thinking back to the 2 times that happened to me, and both times are when I was making my shishito pepper recipe with the nutritional yeast. And you use a ton of nutritional yeast in that sauce or that recipe to make the like umami miso nutritional yeast paste. And I would always make like a big batch, and I was just eating those for days. So I wonder if that's what caused it, because apparently it's very, very high in whatever that uses. So if you're eating nutritional yeast and a lot of it, you need to make sure that you're watching it and drinking plenty of water and don't have issues with uric acid buildup. And I'm like, I wonder if that's what did it. I don't know. So I pulled that from, let's turn around and go back the way we came, because we got to get back to the car. So I pulled that out, pulled the CoQ10 out, pulled the chlorella out. I think that's it. But it gave me a lot of recommendations for gaps too. So for instance, I've always given him salmon oil because I was told that's good for dogs, and it is. But the nice thing about ChatGPT is it was giving lots of recommendations for things that are even more nutrient dense or beneficial. And of course, I was pulling up another tab and looking all this stuff up independently too, to make sure it just wasn't feeding me a bunch of crap. So I'm like going back and forth and cross-referencing, and so anyway, we landed on something that'll work. The other huge realization is whenever I incorporate something new into Apollo's diet, I always go off of what, if it's meant for humans, so it has the human dosage on the back, then I look it up. If it's a dog-specific product, I just go off of what it says on the back for his weight or his size. And so I just do that. Well, I learned that a lot of those recommendations, there's 2 different styles of providing supplements or add-ons and stuff. There's preventative, and then there's therapeutic or treatment. So if your dog actively has arthritis, then you're going to want to give this much. But if it's just preventative, then it's usually a much smaller amount. But, you know, companies want you to use their stuff, so they usually always put the therapeutic amount or the treatment amount on the bottle. So a lot of the stuff that I've been giving him, I've been using way more than he probably needs in a preventative, you know, meal or whatever. So I learned that a lot of the stuff that I use. What? Did I kick a rock at you? I'm sorry. That was just mud. I'm sorry. I think my shoe flung some mud on him and he was like, what the heck? So I've been probably giving him more than's necessary for preventative. Again, nothing that would cause an issue. It's just he probably pees and poops out a lot of the stuff that I give him without his body actually utilizing everything. So that's going to be a huge money saver, because it was like telling me how much turmeric and stuff to give him. I'm like, that's literally like half or a quarter of what I normally feed. And then it also said You don't need to be giving him all of this stuff every day. Rotate all of these things throughout the week or even every couple of weeks. It's good to have the variety, but he doesn't need it all every day. And that's another thing that I usually do is I pull out all of his stuff and measure it all out once a day in his nighttime or his evening meal. Like, nope, you can do this on this day, then this on this day. So it was really helpful, and it built out this entire morning and evening base meal and then rotation for everything. And so it's going to be really helpful. I think one of the things I'm going to have to start doing is freezing some of the stuff I buy for him in small bags, because he might only need a teaspoon or a tablespoon of, let's say, chicken hearts. He only needs like a few tablespoons of that a day or a week, but I buy it in like a pound. So it'll go bad by the time I use it all. So I have to start freezing small little baggies, like weekly portions, and then thaw them out every Saturday or something, because I don't want to waste, money and stuff. So anyway, it was very interesting. The other thing that I learned that was kind of a bit of a revelation is I give him turmeric powder pretty much every day. It's supposed to be very, very good for them and humans too. But I did not know that the curcumin or whatever's in turmeric, that's the actual beneficial thing within turmeric, is not activated or absorbed by the body unless you pair it with something like black pepper. The benefits of turmeric increase by it was something crazy, like 2,000% by using black pepper alongside your turmeric. That's how you get the benefits of it. I did not know that. So I've been giving him turmeric for 2 years, and it probably has not been benefiting him that much because I don't do black pepper with it. So, and you need just a pinch. It said the ratio is 1 to 20, or 1 to 20, basically meaning you need 1/20th the amount of black pepper in relation to how much turmeric you're using. So it's like the tiniest little pinch, but that makes all the difference. So just a lot of really interesting things that I learned last night. So yeah, he's set, and I'm going to show this to the vet and see what they say. They're probably going to be like, dude, what are you talking about? This is way overkill. Just give him kibble or whatever. Go get Purina, something disgusting. To each their own. I shouldn't have said that. To each their own. I get that not everyone can go crazy, but it's personal choice. And it was a big expense to buy all the things to complete his feeding, but because you don't need that much for preventative, a lot of this stuff's going to last a long time. As long as I make sure certain things are refrigerated and stored properly, he should be. Hopefully this only is a once a year supplement purchase, because he doesn't really need that much. I've been giving him way more. His green-lipped mussel, which is very good for joint health in dogs, on the package it says to give him 2 scoops, and each scoop I believe is a teaspoon or a half a teaspoon. The actual recommended amount for preventative is 1/4 of that. So I'm like, yeah, that's going to last 4 times as long as it used to. The same with his mushroom stuff, so it was helpful to get that knowledge about preventative versus treatment, and the actual amounts that he needs. But I ended up adding pumpkin seed powder. I guess it's supposed to be really good for them, and it's good for humans too. Ground pumpkin seeds can act as a protein shake. They're high in protein. Um, the main things that it had me add, obviously, is the pinch of black pepper to activate the turmeric. And then I got him kefir, which he's had before, but now I know that he doesn't need a big pour of it in his bowl. He needs 2 teaspoons. It's very minimal. And that's only 3 times a week. So I'm like, crap, I might have to start drinking it more myself to get through a bottle of it, because he doesn't need that much. The biggest thing, it also recommended adding some sort of other fermented vegetable, kimchi or sauerkraut, mild kimchi, and preservative free, and make sure that it doesn't have any onion, garlic powder, anything like that. So I found some sauerkraut, like organic sauerkraut, and then it just said to reduce the salt, just run the small amount you're putting in his bowl under water for a second, just to rinse off some of the salt. But otherwise it'll be low enough that it's okay in that tiny amount. I mean, it's literally a teaspoon twice a week. So, but it's supposed to be really good for gut health. And what are the other things it recommended? Mainly oils. So it said get rid of the salmon oil. There's better, more beneficial oils that have a higher, like, omega whatever complex. So like 3, 6, and 9. So it recommended getting sardine and anchovy oil. And so I found one that is a blend of both. And I guess that's supposed to be very good for his little heart and brain function and skin and coat. And then it said 2 omega oils that are rarely used for feeding dogs, but would have really good benefits, is omega-5 and omega-7. Is it 5 and 7? And those come from sea buckthorn oil, krill oil, and pomegranate oil. So those are all in the mix too, and it's tiny amounts. Sea buckthorn oil, I need a 1/4 teaspoon. Krill oil, a 1/4 teaspoon. And then the other thing I learned is a lot of the stuff that I give him is like fat soluble, and he has a very protein rich diet with not a lot of fats. So I had to add just a couple little ingredients, just some more fatty ingredients. And then it recommended incorporating vitamin E as well. So I got these little vitamin E capsules that I'll just puncture the hole and squeeze the oil in, or I can just put the whole capsule in his food. I don't know how I feel about him eating that soft gel capsule stuff, so I'm gonna puncture it with a needle and squeeze it in. So yeah, it's pretty, I mean, it looks like a lot, but it also said one of the things you can do is start prepping as much as you can. So for instance, his collagen, his L-glutamine, the pumpkin seeds, the sprouted seeds, the muscle powder, I can mix that all together in a weekly batch and then just give him a teaspoon of the mix in the morning and at night. So I don't have to sit there and measure out 1/8 of a teaspoon, 1/16 of a teaspoon, whatever. I can just mix it all together, and then I know by the end of the week he's gotten everything. So it was very eye-opening. So I'm glad that I kind of looked into it. Again, nothing mixed with each other equals like poison or anything. They said the biggest thing, you know, when you're making these changes is, and this is what I've always done, is keep an eye on his stools and keep an eye on behavior. And if he doesn't like something, you know, keep an eye on all that. But nothing's gonna like, this mixed with this equals, bad times. It's more of take it slow, work things in slowly. And luckily there isn't a lot on here that he hasn't already been eating. And in fact, he's always had good poops, but it might even, the fact that I'm going to be giving him so much less of everything might be good for him. If anything, it's going to save me a lot of money. So, all right, well, we're back at the car. I've got to get in there and get over to the vet. And we'll see you on the next clip. Bye. Okie dokie, Editing Anthony coming in here just to let you know that there was a clip that I did after that last one, but for whatever reason, I think my wireless microphone was turned off, but it just didn't sound great, and there wasn't a ton more. It wasn't a super long clip, but you will hear me in this clip, which is from the following day, mention or call back and be like, from the last vlog, but then I always go over what I said in the last vlog anyway, so you're not missing out on anything. So I just figured I'd record over this just to let you know that this is from the next day. There is a missing clip, but the audio was just kind of so I went ahead and just removed it. So well, let's get back to whatever filming Anthony's talking about. Okay, bye. I want to embrace it because it is beautiful. I mean, everything's kind of turning green, but it's starting to, like some of the brush and the grasses, and the mountains look really pretty today. It's a beautiful day. I should appreciate it, but I want snow. Anyway, it's beautiful today. I hope it snows. I hope you're doing well. I just got done with work a little bit ago, and I have the next 5 days off work. There's some stuff that I still need to get done, technically. So I'll probably be working a little bit either tonight or tomorrow morning just to kind of wrap some stuff up that I should know more about, either tonight or tomorrow. Just hearing back from some hiring managers. But other than that, I have 5 days, and I'm looking forward to it. Excited to have some time off. We'll see what the weather continues to look like, but I think me and Apollo are going to do some day hikes. I might be going up to Matt and Ben's tomorrow to help Matt paint the chicken coop. He was like, I'm painting today, I have the day off, and I was like, I'm working today, otherwise I would. But he's like, I don't have anything going on, or I don't have to leave the house until 3 in the afternoon tomorrow. I was like, okay, well, if you want me up in the morning, let me know, and I'll head up in the morning. I just haven't heard back from him, so we'll see. But I might be doing some painting tomorrow. I'll take Apollo up to go play with the puppers, Matt and Ben's dogs, and that'll be nice. And then Alex said that he's going to be working on my upcoming place, and so I told him if he needs any help the rest of the week to let me know. So I'm open to helping people with their projects this week. But other than that, probably just some hikes if I don't hear from anybody. And on Thursday I have book club, and there's a new movie coming out that I can't remember the name of, but it looked interesting. It's a horror movie, so I sent that to MJ. It's like, do you want to do this weekend? So lots of feelers out to see what I can get into this weekend. But other than all of that, oh, and then let's not forget, I have two podcast interviews over the course of the next few days. So yeah, I say like I'm gonna have all this free time, and in fact it's probably gonna be pretty busy. But yeah, I'm excited for the next few days. I certainly have Sunday off, and I certainly have tomorrow mostly off, as far as no firm plans yet, but we'll wait to hear back from people. But that's what's going on there. Is that better or worse? I can't tell. I have my headphones in. I'm like, I'm not listening to anything, I just have them in. So I don't want noise canceling. I want to be able to hear. I can hear. Okay. So yeah, that's everything going on as far as potential upcoming plans for the weekend. Or a long, week off, essentially, 5 days. So that's what we have going on there. I have yesterday's vlog to share with you guys, or to edit and post, and then this one will go up. So I might try to work on editing videos tonight. We'll see. I'm all over the place as per usual. I hope things are going for you. Make sure to let me know. Try to respond to some comments on this walk. We did a shortened off-leash last night that I brought you on. Right? That was last night. Yes? Yes. Shortened off-leash. And we did the on-leash around the reservoir. So Apollo we got a decent amount of miles in yesterday. And then this morning we did a longer potty walk. And now here we are. So try to respond to some comments. But we have a fair amount of stuff for diamond painting to talk about. Hey, leave that alone. You don't need that. I don't even know what that was. Well, let's talk Apollo stuff. I had a chat with Mia this afternoon, just a phone call, just to go over some podcast logistics. So we were talking about all that, and then I kept saying, "Oh, let me ask ChatGPT what it has for this and this." Like I was getting some suggestions for interview questions from it that we could tweak. I don't think we ended up using. I think we used one. So we really didn't rely on it that much because I have plenty from previous interviews and shop spotlights and stuff that I've done in the past. But I just wanted to pick its brain, or its AI brain, and then I was talking to her about the deep dive that I did for boutique shops, which we're going to circle back to. And then talking to her about the Apollo's nutrition thing. She's like, "Oh my gosh, you're just using ChatGPT for everything." It's like, well, I'm not using it. I'm just using it as Google. We used to say, let me Google something. And now I just kind of go there because I get some more in-depth answers and I can ask for sources. So I know that, it's just a more detailed Google with less clicking is kind of how I use it. But I've just been cramming. I feel like I've just been learning a lot. It's very helpful between all the diamond painting stuff and the audio stuff, and I don't know. She's like, you just use that thing for everything. I don't remember her exact words. I'm like, well, damn right I do. It's very helpful. And so I was using it this afternoon, mainly last night. But we'll talk about it. Been using it for some more diamond painting stuff. But anyway, she commented on that. I'm like, heck yeah, I am. It's been using it so much more recently. And it's like, gosh, can my brain hold all this stuff? And what am I forgetting? What is taking the space of all this info? But anyway, I even used it for, I have a mild tinnitus, and I mainly notice it at night when it's quiet and I'm trying to sleep and it's dead silent. I notice it, and I've already done the ENT, ear, nose, and throat appointment. I've done hearing tests. Like, your hearing's good, and I'm like, yeah, but I still have that. And so I was typing all the things that I experience. And like, I'm a pretty intense jaw clencher. And so it was trying to give me information on how that might be tied and stuff. I mean, I was just kind of, I didn't learn anything to help, but I just was like, is this something that happens, or is this a mental thing? Like, is this like in my head? And I guess tonight, like, is it not real? And I guess tinnitus is one of those things that's just hard to diagnose and hard to treat, and it's just like this weird nebulous issue that just exists, but I don't know if it's just not formally acknowledged. I'm not sure. But anyway, so that's what I did right before I went to bed, because I was hearing the ringing, or the like, it's like a high-pitched tone, and I'm like, yeah, it's still there. So one thing I'll probably do is I have a mouth guard that I wear very sporadically. I'm not consistent about it, and I need to start being more consistent about it. Anyway, enough of that. So, yeah, podcast stuff. We have 2 interviews scheduled this week, and hopefully those go well. First time having guests and people to interview. If they do go well, then we'll have one for March and April. And then I think we have one more on the books, which would be May's. And then we probably have like 4 to 6 more people that have responded expressing interest, but we haven't nailed down. Actually, nope. Yeah. We haven't nailed down. Oh, wait, no, I think we have 4 people confirmed on the books now, but we haven't nailed down, I'd say, another 4 to 6 for a specific date and time. But me and I were chatting, and we came up with a good system of when someone confirms a date and time, this is what we need to do. And we started a Google Calendar to put to put it on the calendar so we don't forget, and put the right time zone for both her and I and the guests. Like, we really went into it. So I think we're pretty well set up to start booking interviews. But I did tell her, by the time we get all these people, go, come on, up, uppies. Good boy. By the time we get this group of people, we're going to be booked out to like June for interviews, for episodes. So I'm like, let's we'll take a little bit of a pause, when now that, the next few people that respond, let's go ahead and let them know that we'll get them scheduled sometime in April or even May, as opposed to being like, okay, we have one today, one tomorrow, one the next day, one few days from there. Like, let's space them out so we're not, we don't have like 12 interviews this month, and then we're like, okay, thank you for doing your interview. Yours will be included on our February 2027 episode, So I'd rather just kind of let people know, okay, we'll do another batch in a couple months or in a month or so. So that's kind of my thought process, and she agreed. So anyway, let's go. This way. Okay, this way, sir. Hop up. Come on. Hop up. Good boy. And hop. Good boy. So yeah, I was, we were working on that. And then, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much everything podcast-wise. I'm not giving away any upcoming interviews or anything. If Mia wants to, because we're both very excited, about who we have in the pipeline. It's really exciting, but I don't want to give it away. So you'll just have to hang out and see. We've also gotten quite a few people, not quite a few, but I think like 3 or 4 that have said either they're too shy or not interested or don't want to be on camera. So, we've been getting those too, for sure. So, but Mia's doing a fantastic job of keeping up with all of it. I'm not. That's definitely not my wheelhouse. So, she's doing a fantastic job. I'm like, I just kind of want to be the documents data person, and but she's doing a great job of like, okay, this person wrote back, let me write back to them and see what they want to say. Oh, this person just wrote back, and I'm like, this is all in the Gmail account? She's like, yes. Are you not looking at it? I'm like, no. So thank goodness that she has an eye on that. But anyway, so I've been creating we have interview questions for each person. And some of them are kind of standardized. So every shop or every artist will get certain questions the same, but we are tailoring a few of them. And then I created this document that's like, hi, this person. Thank you so much for agreeing to participate in an interview for the drill. We look forward to chatting with you on this day at this time zone, like their time zone. Here's the link to the StreamYard. Here's the questions. Here's some things to note. They'll be conversational. We may not hit every question, and don't feel like you need to, take as much time as you need in a response with each question and follow-up questions. We may not get to them all. If there's any questions you don't feel comfortable with, don't worry. If you need to say cut or need us to edit out anything and afterwards, let us know, because I can edit, all that stuff. So just kind of like a one-pager of what to expect, and then Mia's zipping those off to everybody, and then we pop them in the calendar and off we go. So it's pretty cool. It's definitely work. It's definitely work. So I think I mentioned it in one of my previous vlogs, but I want to pick your brain about this. I got a chance to talk to Mia about it to make sure that she's on board. So we've had a number of people comment that once a month is not enough. We need to have more episodes, and comment that they don't even need to be full episodes. They could just be like full structured episodes. It could just be a general crafting topic, or me and Mia's comparisons or rankings, something that's not the normal structure, is like a bonus content in between the monthly episodes. So I was talking to her about it, and I was like, I think I can swing it, especially, if during busier months where I'm traveling and stuff, if we record like 3 of them up front at the beginning of the year, or 4 of them, then we can just sprinkle them throughout, because they won't necessarily be time specific, right? A topic of like, what's our opinions on whatever, doesn't necessarily need to be filmed right before it goes up. So it's like, I think I could swing it, but let's see how the first few episodes go and then circle back on this topic. But I told her, if we're going to invest, we're going to do this as like bonus episodes, I would start a membership to, so it's under a membership as like bonus content. So the normal monthly podcast, free on our channels, free on Apple and Spotify, but I would start a membership for this bonus content, and Mia would just incorporate it into her existing membership thing that she already has set up. And then we would churn on subscriptions on Substack, which would trickle into Apple Music and Spotify, so people that are audio listeners only can get them as well. So she thought it was a good idea. She likes the idea. I think it's still a little early. Obviously, we're only one episode in to start to start that, and we'll just see how everything else flies. But I mean, the reception's been really good so far, and that's awesome. And if I can carve out even more time to work on this, then I was like, it would be nice to have subscribers for the bonus content and see how that flies, and we can use that money to put towards the monthly costs of all the things that we use to do this, and potential future equipment upgrades and stuff. Like, I'm fine covering it. This is not a money-making scheme, but it would help. So we'll see. Again, I'm just throwing that idea out there to get your thoughts. If there was an extra episode each month that was like, the drill, off the record, or I was trying to think of like a clever diamond painting like pun or tie-in. I was like, I wonder if I could, because I was thinking of gaps, like filling in the gaps, but like gapping of drills. I don't know. I'm still workshopping it. But yeah, Mia was like, well, maybe after the summer we can figure it out. And I was like, that's a good plan. So we shall see, but let me know if that's, and I told me, I was like, maybe they're not even full hour. Maybe they're just, a half hour or 45, or maybe that's just a nebulous time. We just chat until we're chatted out about that particular topic, or if we're doing rankings or comparisons, all that stuff. So it's like, maybe that'll be a way to share more about our thoughts and opinions on stuff and tie it to the podcast. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know if that's something you'd be curious about, or yeah, let me know. I mean, we'll certainly take it into consideration. I think Mia's gonna ask on some of her videos as well. So, okay, so that's out of the way. As far as what I'm working on, Garden of Earthly Delights, no progress. My custom of Apollo and I from DAC, I got like one color down the 2 nights ago, I think. And I was just like, no, I don't want to switch. I want to keep working on my whip or whips that have more progress. I want to see those done. And so we'll cross the custom bridge when my other stuff is done. But I kid you not, I got like one color in or 2 colors, and I was like, what am I doing? I want to finish. I want to finish these other whips. So I was talking to Mia. It's like, I think I'm turning into a 1 whip at a time person. I think I mentioned that on a vlog as well. Like, I don't know. I've been working on one, and I keep coming back to it. I kept coming back to it, Spirit of the Rainbow, until it was done. Then I switched to my Dreamer Designs, and yeah, I'm just like, I just kind of want to stick with the one, see it through. At least that's my mood right now, which is not usually how I diamond paint. So that being said, Dragon Spirit by Margaret Morales and Diamond Art Club is maybe 2 sections further along than it was last time we spoke. I had completed the entire border of it. I've done like maybe 2 more sections, but I just couldn't put down Guardian of the Realm by Michael David Ward and Dreamer Designs. And so I'm like one section away from being done. So I'll finish that tonight. So that'll be done tonight. I went from like 60%, 70%, and now I'm like, okay, now it's done. And then I'll fully switch over to Dragon Spirit and work on that one till it's done. So yeah, the whole back and forth until they're done at the exact same time. I can't do it. So I'll stop committing to those types of challenges and stuff. But I'm still gonna call it my Dueling Dragons challenge, and I'll film the unboxing as like a part 1 with the Dreamer Designs, and then later on this month or in April when the Margaret Morales is done, it'll be part 2. I'll just do it like that. I mean, as long as they get done. So, and if I finish both of those, then I can start picking at my custom in earnest. Or just take some time off. I might take part of April off completely, depending on how much effort is needed on my part to get the apartment ready. And gearing up for coaster stuff and kind of getting all that planned. And, you know, if the weather's going to be like this and we're not going to get an official winter, then we'll probably end up starting to do more hiking and all of our spring, summer stuff early. So we'll see. I don't want to say, oh, I'm not diamond painting at all once I'm done with the Dueling Dragons. I'm not going to say that, because of course I'm going to sit down from time to time and diamond paint, but I'm just going to leave it open. I'm not going to set any goals, or I have to have this done, or I want to get the custom done before I move, or any of that. We're just going to let it be. And another reason for that is I have a strong feeling that something else that I receive over the next couple weeks to a couple months is absolutely going to make me freak out and want to kit it up and want to start working on it. So I kind of want to leave it open for 1 or 2 kits that I have on order to get started on. So just leave it open-ended, and something new, I know something new is going to make me lose my mind. And that being said, I with the help of ChatGPT and TikTok, I don't have TikTok, but I just have been clicking on TikTok links like as the website. I refuse to download TikTok because I know I'll just go down a rabbit hole. But with the help of TikTok and Instagram, and ChatGPT, I know in the last vlog I was talking about the small shops that I was discovering or uncovering, and building out the list. Well, now that I've done all this Googling and research and looking things up, I think now my algorithm is attuned to showing me new shops. So I actually found a fair bit more. So I think right now on the shop site we're at 41 or 42, maybe 43 on the shop list link through Substack. So that's really exciting. Legally licensed or in-house, and I think that's, well, anyway, well, hopefully I don't forget, but we'll circle back on that too. So, talking about shop research, I found a bunch of really interesting stuff that I'm excited about, and I think I might, if I do my work stuff tonight, if not, it'll have to be tomorrow morning, which it is what it is. I can manage that. But tonight, after I get all the things that I'd like to get done tonight, and I'm just ready to sit down and diamond paint, I might go live and do a holy crap, I'm freaking out about all these small shops live, and just share the tracker with everyone. And this will have already happened by the time you see this. holy crap, this is really cool. Let's go look at all these websites together, because I just really went down a rabbit hole. And that rabbit hole included some purchases, which I think, potty break. Just kind of fell down this rabbit hole, and this new stuff just keeps kind of popping up. And so then I'm like copying the links and sending them to Mia, like, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And so I've been relying on her to give me a thumbs up or thumbs down of like, yeah, it is technically in-house or licensed, but the things are looking, I mean, I can tell myself too, like renderings are looking really rough, still not 100% sure if this needs to be on the list. Like the Manola, Manola, we kind of both decided like, they've got like 7 kits on their site. The renderings are kind of, the sizing's kind of, so yeah, it technically falls into legally licensed because it's just in-house, potentially AI, but I don't know. So we left that one off. So I've been using her as kind of a sounding board too, because I get excited, like another one for the list. And then I have to be like, yeah, but this doesn't look good at all, So I'm doing my best to kind of temper myself. But where I started to freak out is the very niche, seemingly top-end, high-quality, very well-done Korean and Japanese shops is where I've been spending some time. So I have a list that I wrote down. Can you sit? Can you sit for me? Sit. Good boy. Can I have your hand? Thank you. Give me your hand. Thank you. So I have a list. I wrote it all down, not just of those, but everything that I have on its way, so I can break it all down. And hopefully, editing, Anthony, you don't have a choice. You did this intentionally so you could show pictures, so you better do it. Pictures of everything I have coming in, because I'm very excited. I'm very excited. What, cutie? Okay, we can walk now. I'm freaking out because I'm like, mainly because I'm very excited about the discovery of it all, but also a lot of these places you just don't hear about from your mainstream English speaking or US based diamond painting content creators. Like there's just one of the shops, there's nothing. There is no content about them, at least not when I'm searching. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to get in front of some of these and potentially even, depending on language barriers and stuff, have some interviews. Like that's really exciting. So we're gonna go down the list. I'm going over everything. It smells like beer out here so bad from the Coors plant. It's very bready, intensely yeasty and weedy out here. It's very intense. It's like walking through a sourdough starter. So anyway, so let's get to it. I kind of saved the best for last, so we're gonna go through it all. Editing, Anthony, don't forget, you're meant to put in pictures where appropriate. Okay, so first up, from Diamond Art Club, so we're starting easy. Pumpkin Season by Yume Art is sitting in the dining room just waiting to be unboxed. I just haven't had time. So hopefully I'll do that over the next 5 days, film that unboxing. So I have that. Then from Jaded Gem Shop, my custom of Apollo, that's done in a Muka cartoon kind of style, is Still in production, so it hasn't been shipped yet. I'm not expecting that until May, June, with the, Chinese New Year delays and all that stuff. So I'm just assuming I won't see that till this summer, but who knows? As long as I get it by November, I'll be happy. And then from Feelook, I have 2 kits. And they're now in the US. They arrived in the US yesterday or the day before. And so I'm assuming I'll get those in the next week. We'll see. I have 2 kits from them. One of them is called Bloom, and it's a 58 by 78 round drill, 30 colors, hand rendered, and that includes fairy dust, and they just say special drills. I don't know if that means special shapes or if they have their version of fairy dust. I don't know. It just says special drills on the website. So I don't know what that means. Well, no, it says fairy dust and special drills. So I know fairy dust, but I don't know if special drills means ABs or literally special shapes. From everything that I'm watching and learning from other content creators or crafters that have been working on Feelook, they source their materials from Diamond Dots. So I wouldn't be surprised if it literally means special shapes like teardrops or marquee or pendant or whatever, Diamond Art Club or Diamond Dots is pretty well known for that. So we'll see what ends up showing up. And then the second one is from them is called Hecate. That is a 60 by 80 centimeter round drill, hand rendered, 55 colors, and they list that as including special drills. So again, I don't know what that means necessarily. Gold dust, which they had listed differently than fairy dust, so it might actually be like the glitter drills. Again, I don't know. And then mini drills. So I'm thinking those are going to be the same as micro drills from Diamond Dots, but again, I don't know. So that they have me really curious purely based on the vagueness of the listings. So I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to get in terms of enhancements. And they don't tell you how many of those 30 and 55 colors are special drills. It just lists them. It doesn't say how many. So very curious. And then a third kit from Feelook is coming as part of their PR campaign. I guess they might be relaunching their site, so maybe they're going to be working on a lot of the stuff that we just talked about. Let's leave the geese alone. So they may be addressing that, I don't know, but they told me that they'll let me know when the kit is sent and when I'm allowed to put up videos about it, because they want it to align with the website launch. But I'll be sharing the ones I paid for with my own money whenever I want. But that third kit is called Amaterasu, another one from their goddess collection, and that is an 80 by 60 round, 50 colors, hand rendered. These are all resin rounds, by the way, to include special gold dust and mini again. So the same as Hecate. So yeah, we'll see how that all shakes out, but I'm looking forward to seeing these Feelook kits. Okay, and we've talked about a lot of this, but I wanted to give some more detail because there's a lot happening. So I wanted to give some more detail and show the pictures. Come on, buddy. Okay, moving on to Mystical Dream Diamonds. We have crossing the street. We have 4 kits in production right now, so I'm not sure when those will get here. The first one is a mystery square. I know what it is because I picked out the artwork to be made into a mystery, so I'll know what it is, but I wanted to share, Janet wanted to put a mystery kit into production just to see what they'll look like. It'll just be your normal black and white printed square drill mystery. You know, you've seen them. But she wanted to put one through her manufacturer to see, but I got to pick the piece from the site. So I know what it is, but I'm not going to share it. You'll see it when it comes in. But I will tell you, and for those that are sleuthers and look through the website, and look at and hear these dimensions and details, you'll most likely be able to figure it out. But it is a 60 by 80 centimeter square drill, computer rendered, 57 colors, and I'm not sure if this is plus. I don't think it's plus these things. I think these things are part of the 57. I can't remember how she does it. But there's 1 crystal, 1 glow, 2 mystical dust, and 2 ABs. So quite a lot going on that one. The second one, I have a custom image that I sent to Janet to be done, and that is in rendering. I haven't gotten anything back in terms of what the rendering is going to look like. So once I get that in, I'll obviously know more, but I'm not going to spoil what it is. I definitely want to see what she comes back with, and depending on Apollo, we're not crossing the street. We're not crossing the street. What are you doing? Hop up. Next one. Good boy. And next one. Come on. Come on. Go. Go. Come on. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Up. Good boy. Depending on what it looks like, I may see if I have the option to pay her with an additional invoice to have it hand rendered. It depends. It purely depends on what it ends up looking like. But there's a chance I might ask for that. I'm not sure. So that's 2 of the 4 coming from Mystical Dream Diamonds. Next up, we have Awakening Earth by Becca Tyndall. This is a hand-rendered square. It is 50 by 150 centimeters, 73 colors, including 4 glow and 1 mystical dust diamond. Super excited about that one. I've been seeing Janet work on it herself, and it looks super cool. Very 310 heavy, but I think it's going to look really cool, and I have the plan to give that to Matt and Ben. I think it's kind of their vibe. So, ready? Hop up. So we'll see. But that's there. The last one is called Barbie Core Abstract 1 by James Reyes. This is a resin round, 50 by 70 centimeters, computer rendered, 55 colors, 1 neon, and and 4 mystical dust. I wanted to give another round a try from Mystical Dream Diamonds, like one that I will actually work on and finish and complete, so I can share my experience with rounds from that shop. So I wanted to have a round in there. So I had picked the Becca Tyndall and the James Reyes But Janet was like, I want to do a custom for you, and while we're working on this whole round drill mystery thing, and stay on one side. Oh, dude. Apollo. Hold on, everyone. Okay. Are you okay? Are you okay? He's anxious because of I'm trying to get him to stay on one side with me to let the runners go by. But there's that runner at the back with the dog. So he's trying to go on the other side because I think he wanted to sniff. I'm trying to keep him on this side, so he like freaked out and tried to jump back up on the retaining wall and just totally ate it. I'm like, dude, that's on you, buddy. You gotta relax sometimes. Easy. Yeah, he just like heard them all running and talking, and you just see his head whip around, and he's like, oh, I don't know what to do. It's like, just breathe through it, bud. There's no need to panic. Ay. Are you okay? Look at me. Apollo, are you okay? Are you embarrassed? Can I have a kiss? Yeah, you're fine. So yeah, I had asked for the two to purchase because she was like, I want to do this, and can I get this mystery out to you? I just, I want to see what they look like. I'm like, yeah, that's great, but I'm buying 2 kits to make up for it. So yeah, now we're getting into the fun stuff. Just a couple more. So we talked about Queen's Atelier and how the kit that I wanted was sold out by the time I decided I wanted to buy from them. But there was another kit that was in my cart too. I would have preferred the other one because it was a full fairy dust with a couple other enhancement drills, I think a couple ABs and a crystal, but otherwise it was all fairy dust, so I was really excited about that. And it was in deeper colors, but it sold out. I did message Queen's Atelier to ask if they have any upcoming restocks that I should keep my eye out for. But we'll see. But I ended up getting Where Hanbach Holds Its Grace. This is an in-house piece, 80 by 60 centimeter, hand-rendered, 69 colors, including 3 sugar dust is what they call theirs, and 3 ABs. So that's ordered. Not sure when it'll ship. And part of me wants to just kind of not track it because I just want to be surprised when it shows up. So, heard very good things. Already, I think, responded maybe on a comment that she has it. That's kind of one of her rainy day, like, I want to savor this kit project, so she hasn't started it yet. But I could see that being one that I jump into right away. We'll see. It is, if you're seeing the image, it does have this kind of Mucha-esque vibe to it that I think would work for Mucha Mania. So I might sit and savor mine too until November. But the other kit that I have for November is also a Mucha inspired piece. So I'm like, should I really be doing, and one would be round and one would be square. My Apollo is a round, so I think that one's just gonna stick. So I've got to figure out a square. I'm like, should I really be doing 2 inspired buys, even though the event is about Mucha? So I'm not sure. I'm still gonna think about it. Part of me thinks I need to have an actual Alphonse Mucha going too. So that would most likely be one of my Jaded Gem shops. So we'll see. I'm going to continue thinking about it. But we have that from Queen's Atelier. Next up. So this is where things got weird. So in my TikTok searching and my chat GPTing and my Instagram searching, I found a shop, and I think I mentioned it last vlog, called Pendora, 2 words. Found them on Instagram, clicked through their site, clicked through to their Etsy, where they have a bunch of pens and stuff and trays, but I didn't see a kit or kits, which they do have because I saw people unboxing them on Instagram and TikTok. So I was like, well, maybe they have a website, and when you click on one of their links, which are in Korean, it took me to a different shop, and that shop was called King Demond, Kingde, all one word, and then Mond, one word, King Demond, Korean shop that had their own collection, but I didn't see the Pendora on there. So they also had a couple other shops like Forever Young and Cat Eared, like where they have affiliate codes. So I can't tell if that's just a shop that Pendora supports, or if that is where they get their kits from, but they just get their own name put on it. I don't know. I did find the Pendora kit that I saw on Instagram. I ended up kind of tracing that back and just seeing that it's out of stock on Etsy, so that's why it was not showing, is because it's sold out. So they do occasionally, Pendora, have kits that pop up on their Etsy shop from time to time. I just have to keep an eye on that. But in the meantime, I had gotten led to King Demond through one of their links, and that was a very difficult shop to figure out. Some of their stuff is in English, like the titles of the artwork are in English. It gave me, English or US pricing on my stuff, but the way the website loads, Google Translate doesn't translate everything really well. It does better on a computer than it does on your phone. But the hardest thing was, and I've seen this a lot with Korean skincare and Japanese skincare, when they put all of their product details, they're done as like images, almost like PDF images. So you can't and I'll if I can remember, I will insert what I'm talking about. So it's not just written text where I can highlight it and bop it into Google Translate, and that's probably why the Google Translate plugin on my browser was not working, because they're all in images. It's not just written text. Again, editing Anthony, don't mess this up, because I'm trying to walk people through this. So they're images with all of their benefits and details and all that stuff. And so I couldn't find anywhere on the text on the written text on the website. And I asked ChatGPT, look at this website. Here's the link. Can you translate what's there from Korean to English? I'm looking to confirm that they either have in-house artists or do everything on their own, or if they have licensed artwork, or what's the deal. And they do have a couple old masters, which I found interesting. So ChatGPT comes back and says, nope, unfortunately, I can't find anything that confirms that they have legally licensed artwork or do in-house AI, whatever. There's nothing there. I'm like, okay, that's a red flag. But then I was like, let me see if it's smart enough to translate the Korean that's on these pictures. So I started downloading the images off of one of the listings, because you see these little, it has little animations, and one of them had like a stop sign symbol, like a no, and then underneath it said copy, so it was like no copy, and then next to it is and then there's Korean underneath it. Then next to that is a picture of someone working at a desk, and I was like, just those images lead me to believe that what they're trying to say is we don't copy artwork, but someone does it. But I don't know, I can't confirm, so I downloaded all the pictures, sent them over to ChatGPT, and then I was like, translate what this says into Korean, and lo and behold, yes, the text in Korean reads, in the image, we do our artwork in-house, we do not steal artwork or copy artwork or whatever. So I was able to confirm through that. Huge, whole roundabout way of just trying to confirm that. But I'm glad I did, because they look like they have some really nice quality stuff and some really unique artwork. A lot of what they offer, they do have quite a few options that are also 100% fairy dust, and we'll talk about what they call it. Fairy dust with some additional enhancements, but the one that I wanted was not one of those. They had this really cool piece of artwork. It's called Palette Village. Image should be there. I'm really excited about this one. Looks like a ton of color blocking, but it's really pretty. It's kind of this abstract, it's just really cool. So Palette Village, it is a hand-rendered in-house piece, 60 by 90 centimeters square drill, 62 colors with 4 dust effect drills, 4 dust effect colors, 4 ABs, and 2 crystal. So I picked it out. The shipping wasn't crazy. It actually was not that bad. I think it was like $20, I think. I mean, that's not nothing, but Queen's Atelier was like $60. So, and they're also from South Korea, Kingdomond. So I ordered that, and I left a message on their site just saying how excited I was to find a new shop. I have seen nothing about Kingdomond on YouTube. I tried different ways I put King De Monde, 3 words I've tried, and if you know, and you're like, duh, Anthony, Kingdomond out of Korea, of course, please let me know. But I looked upside down, backwards, and sideways to see if I could find anything outside of some TikToks and Instagram Reels for Korean diamond painters. Tried to find some. I got nothing. So I'm very excited about that one, because I couldn't find a single video about an unboxing or a finish and review. And that's maybe because, I'm not on Korean YouTube, so that's probably why. But I might do some additional research tonight with the help of ChatGPT and say, can you find Korean language YouTube videos that feature Kingdomond or Queen's Atelier? For Queen's Atelier, it's maybe 5 to 7 videos, including one from Artemis and one from Lindsay over at Diamonds and Emeralds for unboxings. But I've only found one person do a first impressions or a whip and chat and a finish, and she's out of the Netherlands, and that's really it. There's some shorts of people doing kind of ASMR, but they're pretty much all from Queen's Atelier themselves. Very few content creators have featured Queen's Atelier, and from what I could see, nobody has featured Kingdomond. So, finally, our last one, and I haven't purchased from them yet, is Starry Night Studio. They have their own website, but it is Korea only. like standalone website, but they do have international shipping through their Etsy shop. They look very interesting too. And I'm very curious to compare these. They're also out of Korea. Compare these Korean shops to see if they all look like they come from the same manufacturer. I'm very curious. But Starry Night Studio, now they have a few more reels, a little bit of a bigger presence as opposed to King Demond on Instagram and TikTok. But again, I couldn't find a gosh darn thing about them on YouTube. I searched Starry Night Studios diamond painting. All I kept getting was Starry Night from Van Gogh. That's it. I couldn't find a darn thing about Starry Night Studios on YouTube. So that's another one that I'm like, I would love to snag a kit from them and get in front of this to share with people. I think that'd be really exciting for the podcast. So they have a number of kits available right now. None of them are 100% my style necessarily, and I'll put up the one that, or a couple of them that I'm thinking I might just get, because of course I want to work on something that I would want to display and put up and share as my taste or style. But for me, quality and color palette and stuff are very important as well. For instance, if I have a friend or a family member that's like, would you do this kit for me? Stay. Okay. Would you work on this for me? I really like the artwork. I want to have it done and framed. Even if it's not my vibe, I'll do it. I'll do it. It's really the act of diamond painting. And as long as it's good materials, then I'm cool. So I'm willing to pick up something that isn't 100% for me, that I can either display at the office or maybe someone will take it off my hands to experience this lesser known shop so I can share my thoughts with you all. So I'll put up the couple options that I'm thinking of, and you'll see that it's not really my vibe. But the two that I'm eyeing, that I have my eye on, are 100% fairy dust with some crystal or AB or something. So what I did before I go ahead and pick one, I'm going to give it until tomorrow, is, right, next one, good boy, next one, oh, you almost had all three, is I messaged Starry Night Studios on their Instagram. They seem to be relatively active, and it seems like a shop that's been around for a little while offering accessories. They offer accessories like trays and stuff, but they just, from what I could see on their Instagram, fairly recently, as in like December, got into the world of actual kits. So not only are they new to me and potentially new to like US content creators or US crafters, but they're just new in general. They're only a few months old. So their last drop was, release was like towards the beginning of February, or kind of mid-February, like 12th, 13th, 14th of February. They had one in January, one in December as well, I believe, all around kind of the same time. And that time is like now, like the second week of March would be the time if we were following their posts. So I reached out to them on Instagram, was like, hey, my name's Anthony, whatever, I'm a content creator, focusing on diamond painting. I am super excited to try something from your shop, but I wanted to know if there's potentially any more new releases or product launches coming this month, or any coming this month, that I should hold off for. If there's anything you can share, that would be great. And I left it at that. So if I hear back in the next, like, we'll say day or two, and they're like, oh yeah, we have some stuff coming next week or in a couple weeks, then I'll hold off. But if I don't hear anything back, I'm just going to pull the trigger on one of the 2 images that I shared. Even though they're not 100% my vibe. I think one of them's like a Christmassy themed one. And then the other one's like this Daisy girl kind of thing. But they're all specials with some additional enhancements. So I'm going to give them a day or two to get back to me, but I will be getting something from them. So yeah, that's everything. So without Starry Night Studios, I've got 11 kits on their way in one aspect or another, 3 of which are gifted, but still, that's a lot. Actually, no, that's not true. Yeah, that is true. And one of them's already here. So it's been a busy few weeks, and I have been so about like, I'm not interested in getting anything right now. I'm on a no buy, and I have been pretty slow buying for quite some time. But this dive into these, like, I thought I knew all the shops. I thought I knew them all, and granted, there still is in the grand scheme of things, a small number of boutique small shops is what boutique/small shops is what we'll say, that carry only in-house or licensed artwork and don't have stolen, just straight up stolen artwork. Is still a pretty small grouping, but the more I look, the more I sift through the ones that don't look that hot, the more I find. And again, now my algorithm is kind of geared towards showing me these types of things because I've just been looking and looking to build out our list for the podcast. And yeah, I'm finding some really exciting stuff there. I don't have the list on me, and I don't think I have it shared with myself. Maybe I do. Hold on. There's even more than I just mentioned, but I'm holding off on a lot of these ones a few more that I've found, because they do made to order. They do made to order, and a lot of them list the Chinese New Year and the fact that it could be up to a 12-week, delivery window, and I'll be out of my house by then. I'll have moved. So I'm waiting on the ones that are made to order until I move. But the ones that show 4 left in stock or sold out in stock, and list shipping times of like 7 to 14 days, those are the ones that I'm kind of gravitating towards, which includes Queen's Atelier, King Demond, Starry Night Studios, or what is it? Starry Night Studio? Yeah. That have active stock levels to send. So that's kind of what I was focusing on. And again, from the unboxings, and this is pure marketing that is just 100% working on me. It's marketing in action. The ASMR kitting up videos and unboxing style, ASMR style, and like the working on the projects and those close-up shots, they're working on me so hard. These drills look beautiful all up close like that. The packaging for a lot of this stuff, especially Queen's Atelier, just looks so cool and very bespoke and just really, really cool. So it's totally winning me over, because it feels like a breath of fresh air as compared to kind of where industry standard for the majority of shops that I'm familiar with has kind of landed on, which is this mix of nice looking packaging, good looking stuff, but with more of a cost, minimizing cost in mind, and minimizing cost in mind and direct from the factory in mind as well. Again, for cost savings for shipping, which is not a problem. Keep them affordable, because I don't want to pay a ton if I don't have to, so I get it. And so, so I totally understand that. But I think there is something to be said for thoughtful and meaningful and intentional kind of bespoke packaging. So, when we think about our masterclass from Diamond Dots and and the upcharge and what was provided, not, in my opinion, not so hot. But getting a package that has like a cover minder with the actual artwork on it that the shop has created, they've put it into tissue paper that matches the kit. They've done for Queen's Atelier. I don't know if this is what I'll get, but they give you a postcard with the artwork in this beautiful kind of parchment paper envelope, and then it's sealed with like a wax seal, so it's all hand done. Like, that's the kind of S word that I like. I want those kind of touches. I want tissue paper tied with a themed ribbon. Like, I want that kind of bougie. I don't want pretend bougie with a bunch of foam covered in a very thin felt that has no real purpose. Like, of course, having a wax sealed envelope with a postcard with a artwork design on it is not necessary or practical, but I appreciate something that's hand done like that, which I think in the last vlog I said that's why I was bummed that I never really got to experience the OG DIY Moon Shop unboxing. So yeah, and it looks like both Pandora, even though they're out of stock of kits right now, Queen's Atelier, Kingdom Monde, and Starry Night Studio all have that kind of bespoke, more like curated, hand-packaged vibe that we don't see that. We've kind of moved away from that for cost and shipping and all that stuff, which are all valid reasons. But I'm looking forward to having some very special pieces, I think there's nothing wrong with that. I just think that the Masterclass series was an attempt at that fell really flat. And now they've kind of worked their way back on that when I did the Woman in Gold unboxing. They kind of worked their way back on that, but still we're missing the mark. And it's like, if they would have given, I think someone even commented, if they would have given like a card talking about Gustav Klimt and Woman in Gold and the artwork and the history, that would have been much more meaningful than, a 30-page instruction booklet, So I don't think I'm the only one that feels like there is a place for that high end. It's just how it's executed is important. But I also understand the bare bones of it all. You know, like the Jaded Gem Shop kind of style, where it's like, here's a white box with our sticker on it and a sticker on the bottom of what it is. Inside you have your kit, you have your sticker sheet, and you have your drills, or you have your canvas, your drills, your sticker sheet. Off you go diamond paint. I totally get both ends of the spectrum, and then, you know, all the shops in between, like a Diamond Art Club, Dreamer Designs, a Mooney Made, I think would fall closer to the more bespoke side, but, you know, like my Mystical Dream Diamonds, I get it, you know. But it's nice to know that it, as long as the quality is good, and this is the rub is, God, I'll be so annoyed if I've totally been had and the quality from these shops is just atrocious. But it doesn't look like it. I've looked at finishes and up close of people's completed sections, and those drills just look like they fit together. So I'm curious, like, for the South Korean diamond painting community and Japanese diamond painting community and market, if the demand for perfection is higher, the same, doesn't matter because they all come from China. There's things that I think are worth investigating here, but if I get a bunch of paint with diamonds drills, I will lose my mind. I'll be so upset, but it's okay. It's okay. It's all in the spirit of learning, and I'm happy to be to give them a shot. You know. I'm happy to give him a shot. So, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not happy to be a guinea pig for a shop, but I'm happy to be a guinea pig for you. But it would be really nice if these are just on point, beautiful hand-rendered pieces with this, you know, a very boutique presentation. It's all there. It's nailing it all. It's the Hermes bag of diamond painting shops. It's, you know, the luxury, true from box to finished canvas, true luxury. Then I think it's nice to have those options for a treat yourself from time to time, or, you know, I'm going to save up for this one or whatever. And I think shipping costs are less, I would assume, from these shops internationally than they are for us here in the US. I don't know. I didn't click on the buttons to find out, but I would assume so. I don't know. But it would be really cool to have like a handful of shops, and I said in the last vlog, it'd be so cool if I could partner with some of them to do, you know, to buy a few or buy one of each and do a D stash. I was like, hell, Anthony, maybe you can, once you land on one that you absolutely love, that'll be your new prize for events and subscriber milestones and stuff, is rather than here's a gift card to Diamond Art Club, say, I need your shipping address because I'm going to send you what I believe to be the absolute finest in diamond painting products. So stay. Good boy. Good boy. Come on. Come on. So yeah, I'm like, hey, heck, I could just do that. Then really treat somebody to a very unique piece that they wouldn't get anywhere else, or a shop that they would absolutely never shop from for whatever reason, because it's just, you would never spend that much on a diamond painting, or you simply couldn't spend that much on a diamond painting, but you get to try it that one time as a thank you. So yeah, I'm putting a lot of eggs in these freaking Korean boutique shops, and they better pay off. They better pay off. I'm going into it pretty much blind, other than 2 unboxings from Queen's Atelier and 1 finish. And granted, that finish from the content creator in the Netherlands, she was stunned by how good it was. So at least I have 1 point of reference. But King Monde and Starry Night Studio are 100% unknown, other than TikTok and Instagram Reels. And I'm putting a lot of faith in those. I normally put 0 faith in those. But yeah, I caught the bug of not FOMO in terms of, ooh, these are super popular, because, they're not, at least not here in the States. It's more of, I have the opportunity to be one of the first more mainstream, I mean, my channel's moderate in the diamond painting YouTube community, a space. It is moderate, but in the YouTube world, nothing. Everybody that I love and I cherish and I appreciate for being here, is still very, and I'm not saying this to be like, my channel's too small, give me a break. I'm so lucky. But you know what I mean. But to have the opportunity in this space to be one of the first to unbox and share some of these shops, and especially with the podcast, to have that platform to introduce some of these shops to people, I think that's a huge opportunity that I don't want to pass up. And yeah, I haven't seen anybody from like the US, like I said, kind of the pool of people, the pool of folks, finish one of these. Lindsay's opened one, Artie's opened one. I haven't seen anyone finish anything on YouTube in like the actual finish and review format from Queen's Atelier, King Monde, or Starry Night Studio, or Pandora, which I'm hoping they'll restock, because I'll add that to the list for sure. And again, if you know better and you're like, Anthony, you're just not in the loop, here's all this content, let me know if I'm speaking out of school. But I really tried to look. And again, I'll probably ask ChatGPT when we get back to the house to do a dive into English content around these shops, and then give me links to any international Korean, Japanese links. I would have to imagine they're there. They're not coming up for me. And, I'm pretty well in the mix, So we're not going to respond to comments today. I was able to talk your ear off long enough, as per usual. But yeah, I might go live tonight, because I'm just so curious about this stuff right now. And these aren't the only ones. I just don't have my list with me. These aren't the only ones. These are just the ones that really stood out to me because of the artwork style. I've always been a fan girl, whatever, of Korean product products, even though they come from Japan. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. My whole Korean skincare obsession. It's why I have the car that I have. It's why I have the music taste that I have. So just that whole country and region, and you see, and you'll obviously see in the pictures that I'm sharing with you, that the artwork styles definitely have that influence from those shops as well. So I'm just very drawn to it and very curious. And again, I feel like there is a sense of perfectionism and exactness in certain cultures that maybe isn't always the key focus elsewhere. So I'm curious if that influences the quality of the resin dyes, the drills that they're getting. How particular are they going to be, or is it going to be just kind of like everything else? So I've got a lot of questions. I'm probably going to go live tonight too after I get settled. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'll wait. I don't know. I really want to talk to people about this stuff. Please comment. Please comment. I'll keep to myself tonight. I'll let it stew because I need to get these videos posted, and I can't upload videos to YouTube while I'm going live. My internet absolutely just has a meltdown. So let me focus on getting yesterday's vlog up and this one up, and give, that way you can comment on this and I can take a look, and I'll try to go live later on this week, or in a few days, so we can continue discussing, and maybe I can actually schedule an actual live to discuss this stuff, because I want to sit there with you guys with my laptop and be like, now look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my gosh, look over at this thing, That's the mood I'm in right now. I love you. Thanks for being here. I feel like I'm a little slap happy today. I'm just in a good mood for a lot of different things. I'm just in a good mood. I feel like energy levels have come up a little bit. I think my social battery has been staying really full. Had dinner with friends, between my roommates, and getting to know Matt and Ben better. Everything's been on an upswing, and so I think this is just kind of part of that, is I would just tend to get a little goofy. So yeah, we'll see you soon. New podcast coming in a couple weeks, a couple weeks, less than that. Week and a half at the time of filming this. Vlogs coming, really interesting new shops to share. It's gonna be a good time around here in the next few months, so stick around. Don't forget to like if you're into that kind of thing, subscribe if you're into that kind of thing. And I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye. Bye.